Logistics companies that invest in the training and development of their employees are better positioned to succeed in today's competitive marketplace. By providing employees with the skills and knowledge they need to do their jobs effectively, logistics companies can improve their efficiency, productivity, and customer satisfaction. According to the website Bytes, logistics training will help you prepare your employees to deal with any challenge they might face at work in the most efficient way possible. You can personalize the training process based on your company's values and objectives, which will allow the employees to deliver their best performance.
Most brokers are pretty good at the training necessary for onboarding new employees, teaching them the basics of the industry, the basics of brokerage, and a lot of the tactical skills that they're going to need for the role that they were hired for. Where a lot of logistics companies fall down is on the ongoing training and development of their team members. I think of training as a 3-phase process. The first phase is what I would call the base phase. This is where you're teaching them the foundational building blocks for any logistics professional. Basic business acumen, logistics, transportation, and supply chain acumen, and then the role-specific acumen that they're going to need to be successful in their specific role or position. The second phase is what we call the build phase. This is like ongoing training and development necessary to really perfect their abilities, their skills, their core competencies in the department that they're in or the role that they were hired for. The third phase is what I would call specialty, and this is where they become true subject matter experts in specific categories within their vertical, within their department, or within their job role. For companies that want to continue to invest in their people, there's a couple of different things that they need to do to really define the needs of their people when it comes to developing their expertise and their abilities. So one, you've got to really have a good handle on the core competencies that are required for any specific role. And that is from the time that somebody is hired, brought in as a new hire, to becoming a tenured employee, to a leader and an expert in that category. What are the core competencies that are required to be the best within that role? The second thing that you've got to understand is what are the critical actions that person needs to master to be the best they can be in that role. Whether it's a sales rep, talking to clients and managing discovery calls, overseeing the sales process, onboarding new business, to a carrier sales rep that is not only responsible for booking loads on a day in and day out basis, but being able to build strategic relationships with the kind of carriers that they can build and scale their business around. So one, you've got to have a really good feel for core competencies, critical actions. You also have to pay really close attention to what is happening in the industry from a market perspective, as well as keeping up with trends related to technology, business analytics, and other evolutions and advancements that are happening with the industry that have to be stayed on top of day to day, month to month, year to year, to remain relevant within the industry. The third thing that you have to do is you've got to have regular employee performance reviews, and like you've got to really understand the unique abilities, needs, strengths, and weaknesses of each team member, and then be able to build out a curriculum that builds on their strengths but also helps to shore up their weaknesses so they can be the best they can possibly be in whatever role that they're in.
First and foremost, assess your current workforce. You need to take a closer look at the skills and knowledge your employees already possess. This will provide you a baseline for understanding where the training gaps might exist. Next, keep an eye on industry trends. The logistics sector is constantly evolving. You need to stay updated on new technologies, regulations, and best practices. By doing so, you can identify areas where your team needs to upskill. Employee feedback is invaluable. You need to talk to your team members, ask them about their career goals, what skills they feel are lacking, and where they see room for improvement. This input can guide your training initiative. Consider conducting a skill gap assessment. These assessments can help pinpoint specific areas where training is required. It's a data-driven approach to identifying employee needs. Collaborate with your managers and team leads. They often have insights into their team's performance and where additional training might be beneficial. Once you have identified the training needs, customize your training programs to address those gaps. Make them engaging, relevant, and accessible for your employees. In conclusion, identifying the training needs of your logistic company's employees is a crucial step to ensure your team stays competitive and efficient. Remember, this is an ongoing process, and by keeping a finger on the pulse of your workforce and the industry, you're going to be well equipped to thrive in this ever-evolving field.